G'day and welcome to another episode of Halfling House. Today I'm just going to run through a quick hobby update on the development of my Mordheim Halfling Warband. So that's pretty much here. They're featured in my previous blogs. But yeah, that's pretty much what my warband I think is going to look like. Instead of just going with archers and picking models that matched what weapons they had, I just decided to pick what miniatures I preferred from my Citadel range. So yeah, quite a cool range of characterful models there. Oops, daisy. And yeah, so that will form the majority of it. And I'm going to experiment with the first version of the Mootlanders and equip them all with most of them with slings and stuff. So that's why I didn't go with archers for these models. So that's pretty much the warband. I am adding a Halfling Knight and also an Ogre. The Ogre is going to be a bit of a kit bash with old Citadel miniatures. I haven't ordered those yet, but that will be in a future video, and also a Halfling Knight, which you'll see in a few seconds. So, yeah, in previous videos, I painted up a few Halfling Archers. That's from the old Black Treaty Design Harlequin Archers, really cool models. This one here as well, but I might not use those, as I said, in the warband. And that's a really old Adventurer Halfling, pre-slaughter. Yeah, I've featured all of these in my previous video, so I won't spend too much time on them. And then the third archer I painted is this really awesome Reaper one. I really do like that model, so I will be using him in the Halfling Warband. And I've got one more that just arrived a little while ago. This is Stumpo, C11 miniature. So I'll paint him up anyway. And yeah, maybe I'll choose to use them in the warband. So that's an update on those figures there. A few more little updates. I painted this plastic Reaper Halfling. I think overall it came out really well. I feel like I did a relatively smooth job, especially on the greens and the levers. So I feel that came out nice. The only thing I'm not happy with, I went with kind of like an emerald sort of green, trying to make it look like rune stones, like he's been spending time with dwarves. But it came out good on the sword, I feel like, but not so much on the helmet and the shield. Like it pops, but you kind of can't really tell what it's like. Maybe I'll repaint it in a metallic. Might be a better idea. Because it pops, but it just, for me, it doesn't quite work. The rest of the greens look good, but I may or may not keep that. But yeah, a cool mini. And this is one where I cut his shins off and re-glued the feet on just to make him more in line with the height of the Citadel minis. Yeah, and this here, I featured in another video as well. This is a Halfling Pimp. Very rare model, unreleased. Never was released, so there's a very limited amount of these. But what I did is I based that off, and I'm going to probably send that to Andrew Taylor at some point for a commission paint job. And just, give it the paint job it deserves just for how rare it is. So that's a cool mini there. Then another one, I rebased this guy. A Halfling Thief or Halfling Pirate. He was on a round base, so I just rebased him. So yeah, if I wanted to, I could throw him in as a thief in my Mordheim Warband. So a really cool model. That's not a Citadel model. I can't remember who did these, but I really do like that miniature, and I think the base came out pretty decent as well. And then onto the Halfling Knights. So I'll start with these guys here. So I did a review on the Wargames Atlantic Halflings. These I've just started painting up, and I think they're some of the better mounted halflings you can get, at least in regiment size. So this is the knight I was going to use as a Mordheim halfling knight. Cool pose, very dramatic. I'm still painting it up. I haven't decided if I'm going to use that one or not. But I also painted this old Bilbo model from the Lord of the Rings Citadel miniatures, and I'm super happy with that. I feel like he came out really, really well. I haven't finished the basin. Like, I'll give him a coat of Tester's dull coat. But yeah, just the character on this model, I really, really like how he came out. Just so much character, so I feel like he's gonna fit in a lot better with those Citadel miniatures as like a halfling leader or knight. So I'll still paint up those Mantic Knights, but mounted cavalry. But I think I'll go with this guy. What do you reckon? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. But that's a super cool mini. Yeah, one of the few Warhammer Citadel mounted halflings, if not the only one I think there is. So back in the day, it was really hard to make like halfling cavalry, where now there's so many options of Mantic, tag halflings, mounted halflings, and then a lot of like 3D printed ones. And here's one I'm working on at the moment. Sort of, I've just started the horse. I'll probably paint him in probably the exact same colors as this guy, because I really like how that horse sort of pops. And I've finished this guy. I haven't coated him. And when I reviewed the sprue, I said they were very detailed, but then when you kind of paint them, the detail's not as deep or as pronounced as, say, like the metal miniatures. So like on a tabletop standard, or if you're a very good painter, I think they'll come out fine, and it makes for like very easy painting, like quick painting. We'll see what he looks like when he's, finished and dull coated and everything. But I think it's okay. I think these models are better, if not so much if you want an individual character, but as a regiment, I think they would be really good. But detail-wise, the depth isn't quite there as there would be, say, with this guy. But then again, this one comes out as quite a nice sort of more of a heroic sort of halfling. So maybe that's more suited to Mordheim as well, as like a powerful character for a halfling. But I'll paint them up nonetheless. I think this one came out a bit better with dry brushing. With the other one, I sort of dry brushed, then I washed it, then I highlighted it, and I feel like I should have just kept it dry brushed. Although the highlights sort of pop a bit more. But it's okay. Not my worst paint job and not my best. So that's it on the halflings, where I'm at. As I mentioned, I will be looking to get an old school Citadel ogre, which I'm going to do a pretty cool conversion on. So that will be coming in a future video. I haven't ordered it yet. I get paid every month, so I'm waiting for my next payday. And then on a side note, some of you might have seen my review of the Empress miniatures, Māori or Maori miniatures from the Māori Wars, and I've managed to paint a few more. I had about 6 bases of these that I hadn't painted from years ago, and I pulled them out of storage. So there's one base. These guys are advancing and shooting shotguns. So they need a matte varnish, and then I've got to finish up the basing, and then I've done one more, which is 2 more advancing. I'm pretty happy with the paint job on those. Subtle, kind of semi-smooth, apart from maybe the robe on that one on the back. I had to repaint it because I messed it up. And then I almost went cross-eyed doing this blanket, the dark blanket there. Really cool minis. I think there's Paul Hicks or Stephen Hicks, I keep mixing up his name, sculpted those. So very awesome sculpts. I'll show you what they look like. So yeah, these are ones I did years ago. So those have been matte varnished and then done all the vegetation on the bases. So I'll do that on those other 2 as well. But super cool minis. Loads of character, loads of detail. And I'll look to do as display base for those. So yeah, with these, I'll look to do a display base too, like a movement tray. It will include the ogre and the mounted. So maybe similar to that, but then the leader at the front on the horse, and then the ogre in the middle. And then I might even make up like a few models as like support models. When I say support models, I mean like emotional support. So I'll have these guys, a few drunken halflings in there. Maybe even for a wizard, Gandalf, although I might not play with them. I think it just adds character to it, you know. Just something. That and an ogre and the mounted horseman, I think, yeah, it would look pretty cool. So I don't know if I'd pull that guy out. Just something that draws the eye a little bit more. But yeah, all right. Cheers for watching, and yeah, I'll have more updates as I go. A few little videos like this, and I might even do some updates. I still haven't played, so I've got some connections. I was kind of waiting to when I got all the models painted, but that's been like 6 weeks, so yeah. There you have it. Cheers, guys. Thanks for watching, and yeah, feel free to like and subscribe, and you know, leave any comments on your thoughts.